music is all around us. It's just everywhere. Movies have it. TV shows have it. Even video games. And honestly, you're listening to music right now when you're watching this video. In the background is me playing piano. I don't think I'm very good, but that's really besides the point. I played a couple instruments throughout my life, and the piano is the only one that I still consistently play. And I never just sat down one day and decided I was going to play piano. To figure out how we got here, we kind of have to go to the beginning. So, picture this. You're a kid again, and you're being forced to sing in front of a large crowd of people with your elementary music class. You don't want to be there at all. You're 6 years old. You just want to go home and watch SpongeBob or something. And of course, there was always that one group of kid thespians that eagerly pushed to the front of the class and, took days like this way too seriously. Honestly, you guys made the rest of us look bad. Well, this is me. Well, little me. At this age, I rarely could find something I didn't like to do. But if there was one thing 6-year-old me hated, it was singing. I had to do it all the time in church since I was 4, but now I'm 6, and I hate it even more here. I hated the way my voice sounded and how it squeaked, but I feel like most kids can relate to all that. My genius self, as a 6-year-old, I just assumed anyone with an ounce of talent must have been watching High School Musical on repeat or singing along with every Disney movie. I was jealous of kids who did the elementary school talent shows every year. A few years went by, and one of my friends tried encouraging me to do the talent show. She kept insisting that I was talented, but I just told her something along the lines of, I can't sing. What, am I supposed to go up there and do math or something? Being smart isn't a talent. She kept telling me there had to be something I could do, but there wasn't. At least, not yet. This was my first time learning how to play music. It's a recorder. It's just a simple wind instrument, and it always will have a place in my heart. Each kid in my class was given one of these bad boys towards the start of 3rd grade, and I wanted to sound good. I wanted to be really good. See all these strings tied around this keychain thingy? Yeah, well, you got all these strings when you perfected a song, and I got all the strings that were available to get. Most of my classmates can't say the same. See, I never found my voice and learned how to sing. If anything, I found my voice in the recorder. I still didn't think I was talented, but I was actually enjoying playing music for the first time in my life. I was really proud of myself because up until this point, I thought anyone that played an instrument was just some prodigy child or something. Kids my age at the time that were born with just some skill that you just came with. I didn't think you could just earn it. And I worked for it and I got it and I was happy, but I wanted more. This was my senior yearbook, and if you turn a few pages, you'll find me. Not my actual yearbook photo, but a picture of me with a quote, "Music is a universal language." The yearbook staff came and asked me a question or something, and this is what I said. But on the same day, this picture was taken. High school orchestra. When I look at this plaque, I get really bittersweet. It's a reminder that a large number of my friends didn't stick it through to the end. And that's just because not everyone got along with our orchestra teacher. But I refused to give up. I grew up in a very musical family. My parents didn't really play anything, but my brother always played drums and guitar, and my sister had her viola. Now, when I saw my sister's viola for the first time as a kid, I was absolutely taken aback. She let me hold it, and she even let me play it, or, attempt to play it. I was 8, I didn't know what I was doing. And, I made some scratchy noises, and I'll never forget that, because I saw her graduate, and I saw her go through this same thing that I went through at the very end of high school.
I'm Eric Dunbar. I play the cello, best instrument, no offense. And in the fall, I'm going to Michigan State University to study computer programming.
We all got up and said what we wanted to do, and I always knew I was going to end up in that same place, 11 years after my sister did the same thing. My siblings didn't really influence me because they were adults by the time I was 7, so I was kind of on my own. I made my own decisions. They certainly inspired me. But I don't really play my cello anymore. I live in a college dorm, so I don't really have space to just, keep a cello. Yeah, I'm not trying to have that thing get destroyed. There was just something about playing cello as a discipline that just kind of pushed me away from playing in my free time. So one day, I sat down at my piano, and it's this piano right here. It's very old. It is so old that it is made from ivory. All the keys are actually Ivory. Rip the elephants. I'm sorry I didn't make it. Please forgive me. Well, it's kind of a family heirloom of sorts because it has been passed down for a long time, and I'm the only one that plays it in this house now. It's horribly out of tune, but that doesn't really stop me. One day I sat down at this piano, and I brought my cello, and I was like, you know what? My attempt at learning piano in like the 2nd grade failed, so I'm gonna try again. And one by one, I would play a note by ear from my cello and put it on the keys, and that's where it began. So after that, I just kind of started trying to play songs I liked, and I don't really know how to read piano music. It's kind of like a mental block for me because I could read cello just fine and play it and like sight read, and if you don't know what sight reading is, it's like when you get a piece of music for the first time and you're supposed to read it and play it at the same time for the first time. Yeah, I can't do that with piano, but I could do that with cello pretty well. But that's fine, that doesn't really bother me because I just hear something that I like and I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to put that on the piano. So I'll hear something, I'll add like a layer to it, I'll just start like with one note at a time, and then I'll just keep layering and layering and layering until it sounds amazing. And technically I play by ear, but not really. It's kind of like slow and painstaking. And I don't really think I'm that good, but I don't really care because I have fun playing piano. I went from a kid who thought he like had no chance even to be attempting to be musical, like at all. And then I went to a kid that had a recorder. I liked that. I was given like a glimmer of hope. And then, I got to choose the cello, and I was a kid that was part of something bigger, like a collective of people that all made music together. And I love that, but now I'm just a guy who sits down at home and just kind of plays for fun. And I'm not the greatest, and that's not what life is about. You don't have to be perfect to have interests. It's totally okay to just, do things out of pure enjoyment and like not be the best. Like, who cares? You don't have to be the best at something to do it. It's not always a competition. And that's what my whole experience with music has taught me. And that's not to say the competition is bad or, wanting to be the best at something is bad either. There's totally room for that. It's just not the only way to be happy. Hello, I'm Asa, and that's why I play piano.